Hey everybody, Chris Bassett here, and in this video I'll be tackling a super important maintenance job. I'll be changing the transmission fluid and filter on my Ford Ranger. Let's get into it. Whether you have this exact truck or a similar Ford Ranger or Explorer from the late 90s to early 2010s, this guide will help you out. Here are the applicable transmission models, but as always, this is a general DIY guide. Consult your specific vehicle manual or service guide. So, safety first, park on a level surface, chock the wheels, engage the parking brake, and let the transmission warm up a bit before draining. Locate your transmission fluid dipstick. It's usually yellow and says transmission on it. I'm going to try something a little different here. When we drop the pan, it makes a horrible mess. So I bought this 3/8" hose. I'm going to try to siphon out most of the fluid. So I'm going to remove the dipstick and feed that hose all the way to the bottom of the pan and then siphon out that fluid. By siphoning out most of the fluid, it'll be a lot less messy when we drop the pan. So the idea here is to pinch the hose, suck, create a vacuum, and that will draw the fluid up and out as long as the transmission is higher than the bottom of the hose. You could also use a vacuum pump to pull it out, but be very careful not to get any transmission fluid in your mouth or eyes, as it's pretty toxic. So, in this next photo, right, we've got a nice clean vacuum, and it's drawing from the top into this pan here. So it'll just slowly drain. Over time, it took 5 to 10 minutes. But the idea here is to drain out as much of the fluid as possible. So I'm going to guess we pulled out between 2 and 3 quarts and before it stopped flowing. So let's go ahead and crawl underneath the truck and we'll identify the transmission pan. So you are going to need a socket. I used a 13 millimeter for the pan bolts, and I want to say there's around 16 bolts that you'll need to pull out, and then a 10 millimeter for the actual filter itself. So there is the transmission pan right there. It's that silver color. Be careful if things are still hot. You may get burnt. Also, eye protection was pretty critical here as I'm looking up at the pan and rust and dirt was falling in my eyes, so safety glasses are great. So you are going to need to remove the heat shield right here. It's just clipped on there. I think it's on the driver's side of the pan, but you can just use a screwdriver or something to pry it away. And then I'm trying to show all the bolts. So there's the pan bolts. You can see they just go around the outside edge of the pan. Like I said, I think there's between 14 and 16 bolts, so we'll need to remove all those bolts. And everything's going to leak here. So make sure you get yourself a catch pan to get all this fluid, some rags, paper towels. It's going to be a pretty big mess. So here I'm just showing I've pried away the heat shield, and then I'm just going to do a once over of all the bolts, all the locations. So go ahead and start taking the bolts out, loosening them up. As you do so, the pan will start to leak, so make sure you catch any additional fluid. And then it was helpful to have different extensions for my ratchet. So these are all 13 millimeters, so I had a 4-inch extension and then maybe just a standard ratchet. The different lengths can help get to the bolts that are out of reach. And then once again, take the bolts loose at first, and you'll see the pan starts to drip. It's making a mess. I kind of loosened the bolts towards the front of the vehicle first. That way it was dripping just off the front side. But as you work your way around the pan, it'll loosen up. You can kind of shake the pan, and we're trying to get everything to drip. So this will probably take 15 to 20 minutes for everything to drip. And then you see it stop dripping. Here I'm kind of shaking the pan to get extra fluid out. You can see I've only got a few bolts left in, just the front and the back, and we're letting it drip. So once it's about done dripping, right, you can fully remove the pan. So you have to hold it, remove the last couple bolts, and then try to maneuver it down with an arm. I was unsuccessful. I made a huge mess, so get prepared to clean it. But here's the pan is off, and we've got the new gasket ready to go. So make sure you remove the old gasket. It's still stuck underneath the truck. Here's the new filter. So we'll crawl under there. We'll pull off the old filter. There is going to be some fluid inside of that. I'll put all the links to the parts I used down in the description of the video. I've got some transmission fluid here. It specifically calls for Mercon V. This is a good substitute. But we are going to clean up the pan, so make sure you get some rags, clean up all the extra stuff. There's your magnetic guard. So it does have some transmission debris on there, which is normal. But just wipe everything down, clean it up. And here you can see what the transmission looks like with the pan removed. And there's the filter in the middle. So we're going to pop that off. That's held in place by a 10 millimeter bolt in the center. So we'll need to loosen that up and then remove that filter. One thing to take note is that the bolts that hold the filter on may be different, so just double check the bolt that comes with the new filter goes with the new filter, and you will need to snap those O-rings on the new filter. So you have a smaller O-ring and a bigger O-ring, so make sure those are snapped on. I also took the gasket and replaced the gasket. Had to scrape the old gasket off from the underside. There it is. It may be reusable in your case, but the filter kit came with a gasket. So I'm just going to put the new stuff on and not even mess with it. So taking the bolts off was the easy part. When you go to reassemble everything, you are going to need a torque wrench. So the information from the website said around 9 to 12 foot-pounds and 96 to 120 inch-pounds. You can see here I'm just showing the bolts are the same length. And then I have a foot-pound torque wrench. So there's my 10 millimeter. And like I said, so I'm going to set it between 9 and 12. And then you'll hear a clicking. I'll demonstrate that here in a second. On my particular torque wrench, you just turn the bottom clockwise until it reads at the foot-pound level. And then you lock it down with the lock screw. And then it should make a clicking noise when everything's tight. All right, so I'm back underneath the truck. We're going to reinstall the filter. You can see there's the hole for the smaller port, and there is the hole for the bigger port. So I've got the filter on my lap. Just going to show the orientation of how it snaps up there. Make sure those O-rings are installed, and then the filter goes the shiny side up, black side down. That black funnel is going to sit in the pan and basically suck up the fluid. So let's go ahead and position it into place. If you got those O-rings on there, it should just snap into place. Make sure the old O-rings are off, obviously. But then we're just going to push it up in there, and you'll hear a click. And then we can go ahead and take that 10 millimeter bolt and thread it in by hand through the center and then tighten it down. Like I said, the torque wrench, used it on that bolt. It's between 9 to 12 foot-pounds. If you got a smaller torque wrench, right, that measures in inch-pounds, use that scale. All right, now it's time to replace the pan. So one hot tip for you is if you have your gasket already in place, you can push a few of the bolts up through the bottom of the pan into the gasket to hold the gasket in place. The gasket can be misshapen from shipping, so this method will hold everything in place while you put the pan back on the transmission. One thing to note is you want to look at this hump right here and make sure that that hump is lined up with the hump underneath. Then make sure to hand thread all the bolts first so you don't cross thread, and then torque the bolts down in a crisscross pattern to around 9 to 12 foot-pounds or 96 to 120 foot-pounds. Make sure you don't over-tighten. And then don't forget to replace the heat shield. All right, with everything reassembled and tight, let's go ahead and refill the transmission with fluid. Make sure you lower the truck to flat if it's jacked up. And then you're going to add about 4 quarts of Mercon V through the dipstick tube using a long funnel. So there I just went ahead and pulled out the transmission dipstick. I am using Castrol. It does say that it is Mercon V approved. So make sure that whatever your transmission is, it's the appropriate kind. Here you can see like this bottle has the gauge on there, so I can say, well, that's approximately 4 quarts. Since we just did a pan drop, that's between 5 and 7 quarts. A total system is around 9 to 10. So if you did a complete flush, you'll need more quarts. But we just did the pan drop. So there's the long funnel. We'll just hold it in place, and then you'll add the fluid. So I added 1 gallon or 4 quarts. We're going to go ahead and start the engine in park, let it idle, and then cycle through all the gears, right? You're going to go from park to reverse, neutral, drive, etc. for 10 to 20 seconds each to circulate the fluid. You'll then want to check the dipstick with a warm running engine on level ground in park. You'll wipe it off, reinsert, and then check again. Add fluid in small amounts, like a half pint at a time, until it's in the proper range. So for me, the 2 dots mean it's full. If it's in the crosshatch area, that's over full. So you just want the fluid to be between those 2 dots. I added an extra quart for 5 quarts total. Hey, check out some other videos over here. I've got some Amazon links down in the description for the parts that I've used. If you want to help support at no extra cost, use those links. I'd really appreciate it. Any other questions or comments, put those below. Thanks.